This person fell in love with you even with the age difference. God wants you to listen to this now. My beloved child, what I'm about to tell you might change how you see love forever. There is someone, yes, someone real, who fell deeply, unexplainably, and uncontrollably in love with you. Even when logic said no, their heart whispered yes. They tried to fight it, tried to ignore it. They tried to convince themselves that this connection could never make sense. But the more they ran from their feelings, the stronger those feelings became. And now you are about to understand why. Listen carefully. This is not a random crush. This is not a passing emotion. This is not something shallow that came for a season and disappeared with time. This is something divine, something heaven allowed, something God permitted to awaken both hearts for a reason. God saw your pain. God saw your patience. God saw your silent prayers. God saw the nights when you wondered if love would ever find you in a way that felt peaceful, safe, and real. And because of that, He allowed someone to see you differently. Someone who does not care only about age, distance, or the world's opinion. This person looks at you and does not see a number first. They see a soul. They see peace. They see wisdom. They see warmth. They see the kind of love they have been searching for without even knowing how to describe it. They see home, my dear one. This person was not expecting you. In fact, their story may have looked like it was supposed to continue somewhere else. They may have imagined love differently. They may have thought the person meant for them would fit perfectly into society's expectations. But destiny, or rather divine intervention, redirected them towards you. At first, they could not understand why they felt drawn to you like a magnetic force. They tried to explain it away. They told themselves it was only admiration, only curiosity, only temporary emotion. But deep inside, they knew it was more than that. You are different, not just beautiful, spiritually powerful. When you speak, they feel calm. When you smile, they feel healed. When you walk away, it feels like the whole universe turns silent for a moment. And now they are starting to realize something huge, child of destiny. God says this connection is not a mistake. The age gap is only the cover of a divine lesson, one that teaches both of you about love beyond limits, love beyond judgment, and love beyond what people think they understand. Where the world sees impossible, heaven whispers, ordained. This person thinks about you in silence. They pray for you quietly. They check your presence without letting anyone know. They imagine a future where they can hold your hand without fear, without shame, and without caring what others will say. Because when love is pure, it does not seek permission from every opinion around it. It flows like destiny unfolding. Listen again very closely. The signs have already been around you. A sudden thought of them during prayer, a dream where they reach out but vanish before touching you, a song that plays the moment you think of them, a sudden warmth in your chest when their name crosses your mind. These are not always coincidences. Sometimes God allows gentle signs to appear before the full truth is revealed. This person's soul calls your name even when their mouth does not. They are trying to resist, but their heart keeps choosing you again and again. And God says, let it unfold, let it be. Because what is about to happen next may leave you breathless. This person is about to reveal something. It may not be with big words at first. It may not begin as a dramatic confession. It may come through their actions, their sudden care, their protective energy, their soft attention, or the way they begin showing up differently. Something will shift, a message, a glance, a gesture, a silence that feels different, and you will know, your spirit will recognize it before your mind can explain it. My beloved child, prepare your heart, because the connection that defied reason, logic, and the world's judgment is about to become harder to deny. They fell in love with you. Not despite the age difference, but because of the soul difference. You awakened something divine within them. You awakened a part of them they thought was gone. You made them believe that love can arrive in a way nobody expected, and that is why they cannot stop thinking about you. This person has been trying to hide it. They tell themselves it is wrong. They tell themselves it cannot happen. They tell themselves people may not understand, but every time they look into your eyes, every time they hear your voice, every time they feel your energy, their heart whispers the same thing. This is the one. They cannot explain it. They do not understand why you, out of everyone, reached places inside them no one ever reached before, but God knows why. This connection is not random attraction. It is divine chemistry created in heaven before both of you fully understood what was happening on earth. The age difference is not a barrier. It is a bridge. It is what makes the connection rare. You carry the wisdom their soul needed. They carry the warmth your spirit longed for. And every moment apart from you feels like a silent heartbreak they cannot fully explain. My dear one, there is a reason why your energy calls them back every time they try to move on. They have met others. They have tried to distract themselves. They have tried to silence the feeling. But their mind always drifts back to you again and again, like a song that never stops playing. They pray at night asking God, why do I still feel this way? Why can't I let them go? And the answer they keep hearing is you. You are the lesson. You are the healing. You are the part of their story they cannot rewrite. God is saying this connection is meant to awaken both hearts. You were not sent to break each other. You were sent to build each other. They are learning how to love beyond society's labels. You are learning how to trust divine timing. But here is the truth you need to hear without fear. They are about to reach a breaking point. That moment where holding back hurts more than speaking honestly. And when that happens, you will feel it. You will sense their energy shifting. Your spirit will know before your eyes do. Before we continue, if you believe God is aligning something beautiful in your life, comment faith below and let your heart agree with heaven's timing, my beloved. Something has been changing quietly inside this connection. Even if neither of you fully understood it at first, what once felt confusing is beginning to feel clear. What once felt impossible is slowly becoming undeniable. And the reason for this shift is because God has been working behind the scenes long before either of you recognized what was happening. This person tried to move forward with their life. They tried to convince themselves that what they felt for you would eventually fade away. They told themselves the connection was too unusual, too difficult, too complicated to hold on to. But every attempt to forget you only brought them back to you again. No matter where they went, your presence followed them in quiet ways. A song would suddenly remind them of your energy. A conversation would bring up something that sounded exactly like you. Certain moments during the day would become strangely emotional for reasons they could not explain. And during the quietest hours of the night, when distractions disappeared and the world became still, their heart always returned to your name, because this connection was never built on surface attraction alone. It was spiritual recognition, my dear one. This person feels something around you that they have never felt with anyone else before. Peace, safety, understanding, the kind of emotional calmness that makes someone stop running for the first time in years. And that is why they have struggled so much with these emotions. Not because they are weak, but because what they feel is real. God says this connection was allowed into your life for a reason, not to confuse you, not to destroy you, but to awaken something deeper inside both of your hearts. You were sent into each other's lives during a season where both souls needed healing, growth, and spiritual understanding. The age difference became the thing the world focused on, but heaven saw something completely different. Heaven saw alignment. The angels saw two souls carrying pieces of healing the other person needed, and slowly both of you have been changing because of this connection. You may have noticed it yourself recently. The way your heart has become quieter. The way certain old fears no longer control you the same way they once did. The way you have started longing for peace more than chaos. That change did not happen by accident. This connection has been softening parts of your spirit that were once exhausted from disappointment. And this person feels the transformation too. They have become more reflective lately, more emotional, more aware of what truly matters. Things that once distracted them no longer satisfy them anymore. Temporary attention feels empty now. Shallow conversations feel exhausting. They crave something real. They crave you. Not because you are perfect, but because your soul feels honest to them. My beloved child, there are moments where this person quietly imagines a future beside you, even when they try not to. They imagine ordinary moments, calm mornings, shared conversations, peaceful evenings where neither of you needs to pretend to be someone else. And what surprises them most is not how intense these feelings are. It is how safe they feel. Because for the first time in a very long while, love does not feel like pressure to them anymore. It feels like rest. God says this is important. Real love does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives gently, quietly, patiently, like light slowly entering a dark room, and this connection has been unfolding exactly that way. The angels have been guiding both hearts closer together through timing, growth, and spiritual preparation. Every delay had purpose. Every season of confusion carried a lesson. Every moment apart was shaping emotional maturity inside both of you. Now something is beginning to shift. This person is reaching a place where silence no longer feels possible. They are growing tired of pretending these feelings do not exist. Tired of acting normal when their heart reacts to your presence in ways they cannot control. Tired of carrying emotions they were never meant to hide forever. And soon, very soon, something will change between you both. A conversation will feel different. A glance will linger longer than before. An unexpected message may arrive carrying emotions hidden beneath simple words. And when that moment comes, your spirit will recognize it immediately. because your soul has already been sensing this shift long before your mind understood it. My dear one, God says not to fear what is unfolding. This connection was not sent to harm you. It was sent to teach both of you that love guided by heaven cannot always be explained by human understanding. The world often measures relationships by appearance, timing, or logic, but heaven looks deeper. Heaven looks at purpose, at growth, at the way two souls transform each other through love, patience, and truth. This person sees something sacred inside you. They see strength behind your calmness. They see healing inside your kindness. They see light inside your spirit. And that is why they cannot walk away emotionally, no matter how hard they try. You became home to parts of them that were tired of wandering. And now the angels are preparing the next chapter of this connection carefully. Not rushed, not forced, but aligned in divine timing. There will soon come a moment where this person stops hiding behind fear. A moment where they finally understand that what they feel is not something they need to escape from anymore. It is something they were meant to honor. And when they finally begin speaking from their heart, instead of their fear, everything between you both will start changing naturally. Because love built by God does not need manipulation to survive. It only needs truth. The waiting season is slowly ending now. The revealing season is beginning, and what heaven has been preparing in silence is about to become visible in ways neither of you expected. If you believe God is guiding your heart toward peace, healing, and divine timing, comment Amen below and let your spirit stay open to what heaven is unfolding. Me fee, beloved, the closer this connection moves toward revelation, the stronger the energy between you both becomes. Even when distance exists, even when silence stretches between conversations, something deeper continues pulling your souls toward one another, because what God has joined spiritually cannot easily be ignored emotionally. This person has tried many times to bury these feelings under logic. They told themselves it would be easier to stay silent, easier to avoid questions, easier to protect themselves from judgment or uncertainty. But every attempt to suppress their emotions only made the connection stronger, and now they are beginning to understand why. Your presence entered their life during a season where they had quietly lost hope in real love. They had grown used to temporary people, inconsistent emotions, and relationships that never felt emotionally safe. Part of them had stopped believing anyone could truly understand the deeper parts of who they are. Then you appeared and something changed. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. My dear one, this person feels emotionally seen by you in ways they struggle to explain. Around most people, they hide pieces of themselves. They smile while carrying private pain. They appear calm while silently fighting emotional battles. Nobody notices, but around you their spirit relaxes. Around you they do not feel the same need to pretend. That is why your energy affects them so strongly. God says your connection carries healing inside it. Not perfect healing, not instant healing, but the kind that slowly teaches two wounded hearts how to trust peace again. The age difference that once looked frightening to them is beginning to lose its power now, because they are finally realizing something important. What they feel for you is not built on appearances or temporary excitement. It is built on emotional truth, and emotional truth becomes very difficult to deny after a while. This person has started imagining what life would feel like if they stopped running from this connection completely. They wonder what it would feel like to openly choose you, to stop hiding emotions behind silence, to stop acting distant when all they truly want is closeness. Sometimes they replay your conversations in their mind late at night. Sometimes they hear your voice inside their memory and suddenly feel calm again after difficult days. Sometimes they sit quietly wondering how someone they were never expecting became the person their heart now searches for constantly. And the answer always leads back to the same place. God, because heaven allowed this connection for a purpose greater than either of you fully understands yet. My beloved child, the angels have been protecting this bond, even during seasons of confusion. Certain delays were necessary. Certain separations carried lessons. Certain moments of silence were preparing emotional maturity inside both hearts. You both needed growth before this love could fully unfold. And now that growth is happening, you are becoming softer in the right ways. They are becoming braver in the right ways. And soon the fear that once controlled this connection will no longer hold the same power over either of you. God says the revealing season is approaching faster now. You may begin noticing strange emotional moments recently, sudden waves of peace, unexpected thoughts about this person appearing out of nowhere, dreams that feel emotionally vivid, moments where your intuition feels louder than normal. Pay attention to those moments, because your spirit is sensing what your physical eyes have not fully seen yet. This person is preparing themselves emotionally to step closer toward you. The silence is becoming too heavy for them now. Holding back is beginning to hurt more than honesty. And when someone reaches that emotional point, change begins happening quickly. You may soon notice small differences first. Their attention becoming more intentional, their energy becoming warmer, their words carrying more emotional weight than before, simple conversations suddenly feeling deeper. Because once a soul becomes tired of hiding love, the truth eventually begins escaping through actions long before words fully arrive. My dear one, this person admires you more deeply than you realize. Not only your appearance, but your resilience, your calmness, your ability to continue loving despite everything life has already put your heart through. They notice your strength even when you feel tired. They notice your kindness even when you think nobody sees it. And secretly, part of them feels protective over your peace already. Not possessive. Protective. There is a difference. They do not want to become another source of pain in your life. That fear has kept them cautious for a long time, because what they feel for you matters too much to handle carelessly. That is why this connection has unfolded slowly. God says some relationships arrive quickly, but disappear just as fast. Others are built carefully, layer by layer, until two souls are finally emotionally ready to receive what heaven intended for them all along. This is that kind of connection. A connection shaped through patience, refined through waiting, strengthened through spiritual growth. And now the angels are aligning circumstances around both of you in ways you cannot fully see yet. Unexpected opportunities, unexpected encounters, unexpected conversations, moments that may appear ordinary on the surface but will quietly change the direction of your lives forever. Because divine timing often arrives gently before people fully recognize its importance. My dear beloved, there will soon come a moment where this person can no longer hide the truth behind politeness or distance anymore. Their emotions are becoming stronger than their fear now. And when they finally step forward emotionally, you will immediately feel the difference. Not confusion, not games, not inconsistency, but sincerity. Because when love has been purified through patience, it speaks differently, more honestly, more gently, more intentionally. God says this connection was never meant to remain hidden forever. The season of silence is slowly ending. The season of revelation is beginning, and the love that once felt impossible is preparing to stand openly in the light heaven always intended for it. My beloved child, the moment you have both been moving toward is now closer than ever before. What once existed only in silence, hidden emotions, and quiet prayers is beginning to rise into the light. And even though part of this person still feels nervous, another part of them already knows there is no returning to the way things were before. Because once a soul recognizes where it belongs emotionally, pretending becomes impossible. This person has spent many nights thinking about you more deeply than they admit to anyone. Long after conversations ended, long after distractions faded away, your presence continued staying inside their heart. They tried to focus on other things, responsibilities, daily routines, other people, but somehow everything always led back to you again. Not because they are obsessed, but because something spiritual continues drawing them toward your energy. My dear one, God says there are connections that arrive only for a season, and there are connections written into destiny long before two people ever meet. This person is slowly realizing that what they feel for you belongs in the second category. You are no longer just a passing thought to them. You have become emotionally important. And that realization has changed them. Lately, they have started imagining what honesty would look like. What it would feel like to stop hiding their emotions behind caution, to finally say the things they have carried privately inside their heart for so long. At first, even those thoughts frightened them, because real love always requires vulnerability. But now, something stronger than fear is growing inside them, peace, the peace they feel whenever they think about a future that includes you. God says peace is one of heaven's clearest confirmations. Chaos confuses, fear isolates, but divine love carries calmness even during uncertainty. And this person has started noticing that every time they imagine walking away from this connection permanently, their spirit feels heavy. Yet every time they imagine choosing you honestly, something inside them becomes still. That stillness matters. The angels have been working quietly around both hearts, preparing emotional alignment before physical alignment fully arrives. Every difficult lesson from your past relationships carried purpose. Every heartbreak taught wisdom. Every delay protected timing. You both needed preparation before this connection could fully unfold the way heaven intended, and now the preparation is slowly becoming completion. My beloved child, this person has begun noticing signs everywhere lately, not because they are searching desperately, but because their spirit has become sensitive to the connection. They see reminders of you in ordinary moments. They hear songs that suddenly feel personal. Certain numbers appear repeatedly during emotional moments. Certain dreams linger after waking, and every sign seems to whisper the same message. Do not be afraid of what God is blessing. That message is beginning to change them deeply. They are becoming less focused on what others may think and more focused on what their heart already knows. The opinions that once scared them are losing power now, because when love becomes spiritually undeniable, outside noise starts fading naturally. This person is beginning to understand that heaven never asked them to explain divine connection to everyone else, only to honor it truthfully. My dear one, there may soon come a moment that appears small on the surface but changes everything emotionally between you both. Perhaps a conversation becomes unexpectedly vulnerable. Perhaps they suddenly say something honest they never planned to reveal. Perhaps their eyes finally show emotions they can no longer hide behind silence. And when that moment arrives, your spirit will recognize it immediately. Because souls often understand each other long before words fully catch up. God says this connection is moving toward emotional openness now. Slowly, carefully, but genuinely, this person no longer wants distance from you. They want closeness. They no longer want confusion. They want honesty, and most importantly, they no longer want fear controlling decisions that involve your heart. That change inside them is significant because courage built through love becomes very powerful. My beloved child, this person admires how you carry yourself even during difficult seasons. They notice your patience, your emotional strength, your ability to continue showing kindness, even after disappointment could have hardened you completely. You make them want to become emotionally better, not through pressure, through inspiration. That is one of the clearest signs of heaven-touched love. It calls people higher instead of pulling them lower. And because of that, this person has been quietly changing in ways even they do not fully understand yet. Their priorities are shifting. Their understanding of love is deepening. They no longer crave shallow attention or temporary excitement the way they once did. Now they crave emotional safety, consistency, truth. They crave you. God says your souls have been teaching each other important spiritual lessons without even realizing it. You taught them that real love feels peaceful, not manipulative.